Hey everybody, and welcome back to Split Couch Games. This is podcast number 23. I'm Ben.
I'm Scott.
And today we've got kind of like a little bit of an interesting topic, just because it's probably a little random for most people, but it was something that Scott and I had started to talk about earlier in the week.
That's how we do.
Yeah. And it was something that he asked me, how I liked Overwatch on the PC, because I had played a few games on the PC, and, he asked me if it was a better game and everything. And personally, I was a little confused, because I didn't know what he was talking about. And I said, it's pretty much the exact same game. It's just PC controls. And he replied like, well, yeah, I mean, do the PC controls make it a better game? And I still don't really have a response to that. So my question to you now is going to be, what, if anything, can make a multi-platform game that is on both console and PC better on one or the other?
Well, okay, so to start off, I asked that question because you, in the past, have said that you don't enjoy playing shooters on PC.
Oh, I don't.
So
I'm fucking terrible at them.
So that's where the question came from, because I wanted your perspective. Like, I never thought that you were actually going to play it on PC, so I was like, oh, I wonder how Ben enjoyed it.
Oh,
I wasn't trying to necessarily, I wasn't necessarily trying to start a conversation about, like, what's better, what's worse.
PC Master Race kind of thing.
Well, no, I mean,
like, you weren't trying to start that?
No, I was not trying to start that. But we have started it, and that's what we're going to get in the comments. But now that we're here, I mean, I think that we all know the benefits of PC over console gaming and vice versa. And I mean, I do both. But I think if I had the choice, I would probably choose console, just because it's so much simpler. Everything, like, give or take, like, maybe like 1% of the time, everything just works without issues. And I'm not a huge graphics snob, so I don't care so much about the increased, like, the better visuals.
Yeah, that's why you went with the 1070, not the 1080, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, I don't really care. Like, this is gonna be good enough for whatever I need. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that PC gaming for me is all about, like, if I'm on PC, I want to be playing a strategy game or PC exclusive game. Like, consoles, like, it's just so much more simple, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think it's just a matter of when it comes to multi-platform titles, I think that the biggest thing is price. Like, if you have a PC that can run the newest games, do that. If you end up in a...
Okay, but I mean, so in a situation like yours, for a multi-plat, you would say, if your computer can run it, which yours could, get it on PC.
I see.
Why?
I worked myself into a corner. Well, okay, so I guess for me personally, because, like, you've commented in the past, is that, like, a majority of my stuff is based off of PvP stuff. So most of my gaming is related off of PC stuff. Fuck. Words are hard. Most of my gaming is PvP related. And allergies are just doing wonders for me today, guys.
Apparently.
But yeah, so if I'm gonna go wherever my friends are for gaming, and most of my gaming is at this point Gears of War. So I'm gonna be on Xbox. Ben, you other than my Gears friends that I play games with, you are probably my number one person I play games with. You're on Xbox, so I'm going to be on Xbox. I do have my PC so that I can play League of Legends. I've just started playing Battlegrounds. So I do have PC games that I play, but I think I'm a very specific type of gamer. If I was to play a social game, I would, or a single player game, I might buy it for PC just because my PC can run it. I have access to Steam, which has better sales than Xbox does most of the time. Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, all things being equal, if you have a computer that can do it, buy it on PC, because I think you're going to get a better experience.
But why? You haven't answered why. Like, why? Like, if, let's say in a world where The Division was actually a good game, and I had a monster of a gaming PC.
Yeah.
And I didn't own The Division.
Uh-huh.
And, like, where my friends are was not an issue.
Because Ben has, like, no
let's
friends.
Say, well, yeah, let's go with that. I don't have any friends to play games with. What you're saying is telling me that I should get it on PC. But why? Like, what about the PC experience is that much better than consoles, if you, like, in your opinion?
I think that you just, I mean, I think that really at that point is mostly just the graphics. It might be community size. I think probably the PC has a larger community than, like, the Xbox or the PlayStation, respectively. But I don't know those numbers off the top of my head. But it makes sense to me that there would be more people on PC. So I think it's just a matter of, like, it might depend on the individual game, but I feel like everything being equal, I think that you're gonna get better graphics on a PC, and you're going to be able to use mouse and keyboard if you want. Like, pretty much every game nowadays has gamepad support if you want to use a controller. The only thing that some people, like you, don't have would be the ability, or like that you have, that I don't, is the ability to, like, kick back on a couch and play, like, very comfortably. Like, because of the way my setup is my Xbox is at a desk anyway, so I don't get to say, like, oh, I can kick back and relax on a console, which I think is something that's important. But, you know, if that's important to you, then obviously go for the console, but that's going to be set up in the way that your gaming is set up to begin with. Yeah, but I mean,
I don't feel like that's really even a driving factor, because realistically, like, if you are a casual enough gamer that comfort is one of your top priorities, like, where you know, it's like, I have to sit on my couch to play games, then whether it's using a wireless adapter and a gamepad or a wireless mouse and keyboard, like, you can still do that. Like, sure. If I had a gaming rig next to my TV right now, I could play PC games on my TV.
Yeah.
I would just, you know, need the either wireless experience for my controls or really long wires dragging across the living room floor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it kind of sounds like basically what you're saying is that the only real advantage that gaming on PC has is graphics and potential versatility with different control options.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess, like, I'm of the opinion that it's like whatever fits you best is fine. Like, I don't think that console's better than PC.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree. Like, I think console fanboys and PC master race people are silly all across the board, because it's not about what is better in your mind. It's about the games. Like, You know, gaming is about gaming. Like, it's not about, oh, well, I have, you know, two 1080s running SLI on my 4-monitor setup or some crazy shit. Like,
I mean, that's gaming for some people.
yeah, and that's fine, but, like, you shouldn't set that as a standard.
I think that's my standard
like,
now. I'm not going to play any games until I have that.
Until you have a 4-monitor setup?
With 4 1080s, or 4 1080s. SLI
I don't
together.
think you would need 4.
Trust me, I need 4.
Operating, does that, I don't even think it, can you do 4? Is that even an option? I thought SLI was, like, limited to 2.
Man,
I know nothing about PC
you can make
gaming,
things
clearly.
happen. We're gonna make some shit happen, okay?
Okay. I don't know. I just thought it'd be a little bit of an interesting conversation to hear your justification for why PC games could potentially be better. Because, I mean, obviously, like, yeah. I'm a console gamer. I pretty much always have been. Yes, I technically have, like, a laptop that can run some games. It can't run a lot of things on max settings. Can't run some things at all.
Yeah.
But I still prefer to play on my console, and for me it has nothing to do with power and that kind of thing. I mean, like, I think the justification for, oh, you know, I have to have super amazing graphics kind of loses its value when you're sitting like 8-10 feet away from the monitor. You know, because a lot of, like, the additional detail that's added in by having your settings maxed out, I feel, is lost once you get a certain distance away from, you know, the TV monitor, whatever it is. I mean, obviously, if you're sitting, like, 10 feet away and it's, like, a 70-inch TV, that's a different story, but,
yeah,
you know. But, I mean, like, for me personally, the reason why I prefer to game on consoles is just simply convenience. Like, the amount of maintenance and upkeep that there is with a console is basically negligible. Because, I mean, if this generation of consoles lasts, you know, as long as the last, where it's, like, you know, like 7, 8, you know, going on 10 years, then that means I would, like, assuming I don't, like, upgrade to a Scorpio or anything like that, and this console, like, stays strong, that means I would have spent $500 and gotten nearly a decade of gaming out of it. And that's not really something that you can do with a PC. Because I feel like once you invest in a PC, at that point you are investing with, oh, well, you know, I'm going to be running at max settings. And when you can't run things at max settings, I feel like it is far more noticeable. And I mean, obviously for some people that maybe don't care about that type of thing, it is way easier to just be like, you know, I'm running this game at medium, that's fine. Like, I still got a couple more years before I have to replace my card and the RAM and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, not everybody is the same, but I do know that there are people out there that the moment a game comes out, if they can't run it on max settings, they start shopping for new hardware.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's their prerogative. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. But that, to me, is positively insane. Because if I spend, you know, like $500 over the course of, you know, 5-6 years, that breaks down to a pretty nice average. But if we're talking about, you know, it's like, oh, well, you know, I spent $2,000 building this, and in about 3 years I'm going to replace this, and then in another 2 years I'm going to replace these things. I feel like it adds up to a much, much greater cost. And I know there are some people that argue, oh, well, you know, Steam has great sales all the time, blah, 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 blah.
Steam does have great sales all the time.
That is true. But Microsoft has been doing fucking wonderful in terms of sales as well. Granted, they aren't nearly as well known as what Steam sales are.
I think...
But, like, right now, there is a massive sale going on for back compat titles on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Like, there are a bunch of games that I'm like, you know, I never played that. If I had the time and money, I would totally play it. But I don't want to spend the money, and I don't have the time, because I already have a stack of games that I'm trying to play through right now. And I mean, if you're the type of person that likes to take advantage of sales and you don't have to buy games on day one, I feel like the Xbox is actually a pretty good competitor in terms of Steam sales and that type of thing. Because if you're willing to wait, like, you know, Skyrim Special Edition came out, and then 2 months later there's the Christmas sale and I got it half off.
Yeah. I think that the issue is that I think Microsoft is doing a good job. Like you said, they do have some pretty good sales, and you know, games that are a month or two old actually go on sale fairly regularly for like $40 to $45 or something like that. But I think that you lose out on so many indie games that, you know, are usually like $10, and then like they go on sale for like $2, and you're like, oh, okay, $2, I can try this out. And
I feel like there are way more indie games on the Xbox than what you realize.
Sure, but I don't think those go on sale as much. I don't know. I
feel like you don't do enough looking around then.
Probably not.
Because I mean, I even like right now, if I were to, you know, go look in the store, I can almost guarantee you that a good chunk of the indie games in there are on sale, and there are some that are even on sale as pre-order. So, like, indie games do have a presence on Xbox. I think the biggest fault that Xbox has right now is simply that their sales and, like, the storefront as a whole, really, is woefully misrepresented.
Sure.
I don't feel like they have the type of presence and that type of thing that the Steam homepage does. And I feel like part of that is because, like, they're working on building out those, you know, like, recommendations and that kind of thing. But it's also because they cater to a different audience. You know, like, if you open up Steam, you want to look at video games.
Yeah.
You know, you want to look at sales, and you want to look at all these different options and everything for creating a, you know, like, experience catered to you. But on Xbox, if you boot it up, you may not necessarily want to be blasted in the face with advertisements and sales and all that kind of stuff.
And yet there are advertisements all over the Xbox homepage. It's weird.
There really aren't, though.
Yeah, there's every homepage has an ad.
There are advertisements for games.
Sure, but I mean, there's still advertisements. It's really annoying, actually.
How is it annoying?
It just, every time I see it, I'm like, I don't care. I don't want an advertisement on my homepage. Like, it's just like, it seems very intrusive. Like, it's not like a thing that, like,
how is it intrusive?
It's not, okay, so like, it's not like I'm not
What's
saying
the difference between an ad that is labeled advertisement and a sponsored posting on the Steam page?
Like,
what is the difference?
So, like, when I say that it upsets me, I'm not like sitting there like at night like fucking Xbox. Like, I'm not like in bed like pissed off or anything. It's just like,
sure,
when I go to my homepage on my Xbox, like, I want that to be my homepage. Like, it's like when I turn on my PC, like, I don't have an ad pop up when I turn on Windows.
So you're saying, like, the one box, because I know there's only one.
Yeah, there's only one box.
There is one, and that bothers you. But when you go to the Steam page, and
but the Steam page is
a quarter of your sidebar is sponsored postings.
But like, that's the thing, though. Is like, Steam is a service that.
So is Xbox Live.
I understand that, but I also pay $60 a month for Xbox Live as opposed to Steam. I don't pay.
You are paying way too fucking much for Xbox Live, then. If you're paying $60 a month.
Okay, $60 a year. You know what I meant. But like,
okay, my point remains, though. When you have a console infrastructure, right now we're at a point where backwards compatibility is only barely possible from generation to generation. And you can fault whoever you want for that, I don't care. But it's not like a PC. You can't be like, oh, well, I have a PC, and because of operating system magic, like, I can fucking run a game from 1992.
Sure.
You can't do that with a console. So when that game from 1992 goes on sale, you can't buy it on a console.
Sure.
You also don't have the, like, with Steam, network stability and all that kind of bullshit. is typically handled by the developers and you.
Sure.
But with Xbox Live, it's handled by Microsoft.
Sometimes.
No, pretty much all the time. Like, if you are connected to Xbox Live, that is because of Microsoft. The only way that you can affect that is by changing your network settings on the console. But, I mean, that gets into, like, freaky
Sure.
IT shit that happens on the computer anyways. But, like...
Sure. There, yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of services that I'm totally okay with paying pennies a day for in order to have my console functioning as well as what it does.
Sure. And, like, I'm not saying, but here's the thing. Like, it's just the advertisement thing is just like a little, like, it's just a little annoyance, but it's one of those things where, like, you would be annoyed if you turned on your PC and an ad popped up every day, right? Like, you would be annoyed. And, like, again, like, I usually don't notice it, but, like, when I do, I'm just kind of like, I don't want to see that. I don't care about this. Like, and it's just like it gets in the way of, like, immersing myself in the console.
So if it said,
but
so if the text underneath it said sponsored instead of advertisement,
no.
like
So
it
here's
does
the
on
thing.
Steam,
Because, like, when I go
would
to Steam,
that change it?
No. Because when I go to Steam, I'm like, if I go to my library in Steam, my library is my library. They're not advertising anything in my library. If I go to the Steam homepage, sure, but the Steam homepage is the store, right? Like, the store page, they can sell me whatever they want because I'm going to the store. It's not like Steam pops up like a little notification in the bottom right of my screen, which, granted, like, isn't really anything, and with your logic wouldn't annoy you because it's just like a little notification that pops up and says, hey, buy the new Battlefield, which is not the case because Battlefield's on Origins, I think, but whatever. Like, and, like, I know that, like, it's not the same, and again, like, it's not a big deal. You're making it a bigger deal than I am.
But so the problem isn't that it's there, it's the fact that it exists on, like, the home screen.
Yeah.
So you have a problem with turning on your video game console and seeing an advertisement about video games.
Yeah. Because I'm upset. I'm not upset. Like, I just don't want to see an advertisement.
So out of curiosity, answer me two questions.
Mm-hmm.
One, when was the last time you turned on your Xbox to do anything other than play video games?
I mean, a while ago, watched the Blu-ray.
Okay. Two, when was the last time that you went to the store page on your Xbox?
A month ago, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Then do you think maybe that's why that's there? Is because the store page doesn't get enough traffic?
Sure.
Like, we're living in, like, this weird era where digital distribution is becoming more and more popular, but there are still plenty of people that go out and buy physical discs. Whether
Sure.
it's, you know, GameStop, Target, Walmart, whatever.
Yeah, like, I mean, you could, if Microsoft wanted to, I actually wouldn't care if I turned on my console and it took me to the store page. Like, I wouldn't care. Because that makes...
Your logic is making no sense.
It's like, I'm not saying that, like, this is a logical thing. I'm just saying that, like, I don't want to go to my homepage, which is my homepage where, like, you know, I've pinned, you know, certain games that I want to play and, you know, try to, like, the limited amount of customization that I'm allowed. Like, I've set that up and I want to, you know, go there and I want that to be my page. Right? Like, I don't want to see an advertisement for a game I don't care about. Like, I just don't want to see it. Like, am I going to stop playing Xbox because of it? No. Am I, like...
Okay, but I mean...
Am I gonna write to Microsoft and be like, yo, take your ads off my homepage? No, I don't care that much, but it's just like a slight annoyance.
I just don't understand how or why. Because most of the time you can't even tell it's an ad until you read the word advertisement or if it's talking about some sort of sale.
That makes it worse. Like,
but
the fact that, like,
90% of the time it's not. Usually it's just a check out this game.
Yeah.
And that ad is based off of recommendations that probably aren't built for you, since all you play is like Gears of War and the occasional game of Overwatch.
Yeah, I just don't want the advertisement there. Like, you're making it a bigger deal than it is. All I said is I don't like the advertisement there. And I don't. Like, that... And again, like, I'm not, like, staying up at night. Like, I'm not constantly thinking, like, oh, God, Microsoft, fuck you guys. Fuck you, fuck you.
I
But,
know.
like,
I just...
it
we
annoys me.
got on this topic because you said that, like, the fact that there is an advertisement is one of the things that you don't like about console gaming right now, essentially. Which, like, I can agree, like, that's a valid thing, but I feel like complaining about that when there are sponsored posts on Steam homepage.
But Steam isn't something that, like, I voluntarily opt into, right? Like, I'm voluntarily
So
saying,
is
like...
Xbox Live. You volunteer into
but
that.
you have, like... That's...
You don't have to. You really don't.
But you kind of do.
No,
right?
you don't.
Like, you kind of have to pay... You have to go onto Xbox Live. Like, if I want to do the gaming that I want to do, I have to go into Xbox Live.
No, you don't. 95% of what you do is play Gears of War.
Yeah, and I have to
And
be...
you can play that... You can play that on your computer. You don't have to have Xbox Live Gold.
You do have to. To play that online, you have to have Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah, but it's free for PC.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Fairly certain it is. There was a big hubbub about it a while back.
I'm like 90...
So unless it changed...
I'm like 90% certain that, like, the games with gold games have to be...
We're not talking about games with gold. We're talking about your ability to play online Gears of War.
I think you have to have Xbox Live.
Yeah, but Xbox Live on PC is free. So you could literally just put your Xbox One in a closet, play with all your friends.
Well,
through
there's
the PC
some
version of Gears, because there's
some cross-platform issues. There's some cross-plat issues there. Like, you can't play public playlists together and stuff like that.
Regardless.
Huh.
Anyways.
Xbox Live for this thing will be free for online game. Fantastic.
Oh, look, I was right. Who would have thunk it?
Well, they should have advertised that better. Holy shit.
Anyways.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. The issue is, you say that you can opt in. Like, yeah, I can opt in to never go to Xbox Live again, but then I miss out on a bunch of stuff. I don't have to ever go to the Steam store.
Well, I mean, it sounds like the stuff that you're missing out on is stuff you don't care about anyways, so...
No, I care about being able to play the games on the Xbox. I just, like, I don't even know what we're arguing about. I just, like... It's different than Steam, because Steam is a program that's, like, meant to... Like, you go to the store page is there. Like, if I'm going, like, if I go into my library and I'm like, oh, okay, what game do I want to, like, is there a game here that I own that I haven't played? Like, then I scroll down the list of games that I have, and I'm like, oh, I want to install that game. It's not like trying to be like, oh, you have these games, and we think that you would like this game. Like, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. I'm a strong, independent gamer. I don't need to be told what I want to play.
Okay. Anyways,
and for the record, some of those advertisements on the Xbox are for movies and TV shows. Very rarely,
yeah, when
but
you
sometimes.
go into the movie and TV show section.
Nope. On the homepage.
Then you don't play enough variety of video games, apparently, because I've never seen them advertise movies and TV.
I've seen movies and TV
on my main page.
I don't know.
Play something other than Gears of War. Maybe it'll change.
No.
Anyways, we're done.
We're done?
We've derailed so far from the topic, and I'm sure nobody wants to hear us talk anymore. So,
I don't even want to
we'll
hear
see you
us talk
guys next
anymore.
time on Split Couch Games.
Bye, guys.